I'd love to get a show of hands. How many of you here in the room consider yourselves niche marketers? No? Okay, one. She's my sister, you know? She's helping me out here. Unless you guys work for like the American Red Cross or maybe American Cancer, don't you think that the organizations you work with really appeal to a niche of the population? Yes. Okay. Some grudging notes. We're tired. We just ate. Okay. We're gonna come back to that in a few minutes. I think everyone here definitely appeals to a niche. Covenant House won the Renewal Prize for Package of the Year last year. We're thrilled about that. And the question is, why did we win? And part of the reason we won is because you guys, those present in the room and those who were here in June, you get the numbers. And the numbers are, we got a 12% response rate, a $60 plus average gift, and we raised $5 million. Not too bad for one mailing. So we have a good-sized file that goes along with that. That's part of the magic. But $5 million that we're able to use to serve our homeless kids and meet the needs of the thousands that come to us each year. Question is, how do we get that response rate and that gift? Well, our strategic team is comprised of some internal players and some external players. Internally, we have Angela Liu, Sharon Adams, Tom Manning, and Tricia Reyes. Tricia technically wasn't with us last December, but spiritually she was. She joined the office in June, but she's part of the team. And then externally, we worked with Tom Gaffney, who many of you know, and Tom Pelletier, who I bet maybe no one in the room knows. Tom Pelletier is a copywriter who bounces back and forth between Long Island and Massachusetts, and he's kind of our secret weapon. He really gets our niche. He gets the Covenant House donor. Our niche is an older Catholic, definitely Christian, most likely Catholic person. It's not every donor that we have, because we provide human services. We take care of kids who have no place else to go, and that appeals to people no matter what their religion is, no matter what their gender, no matter what their age. But we do have a stronger presence in that market, which is an older Catholic female. So this internal and external team reviewed our historical campaigns and their performance, obviously this basic direct marketing like Sheila referred to. We identified a few key principles that spoke to success at Christmas time for us. One was preach to the choir. Instead of trying to please everybody in the church, let's talk to the ones who like us the best, and maybe we could really, really get them to do something very special. So we preach to the choir, and we have to stick to the core message. And with Covenant House, we provide an incredible array of services these days. We support drug addiction. We don't do drug rehab, but we have support programs for that. We serve mental health. We have medical clinics in some of our Covenant Houses. We have daycare centers that take care of moms and babes, or take care of the babes for the moms. Lots and lots of programs are provided to give the kids the support they need. But the basic thing we're known for is the food, clothing, and shelter. So we have the image of a kid who might be sleeping on the street, unless you're able to help us with your $50, $100, $10, whatever that may be. The other key for us, make it spiritual. So I'm going to show you the opening of the letter. This is the whole package. Again, a simple one and no premium. Hey, no premium one on both sides. It's not going to be consistent, but no premium one. But the letter opens up, Dear Tom, dear John, it's a personalized letter. Christmas Eve is the one day of the year when Jesus really scares me. Now, it's going to probably turn off a number of people, but we went out there, we put it out there. And it goes on to talk about how our executive director, who in this case is a Catholic nun, feels that she's standing up to a test from God. God has called her to make a difference in the lives of thousands of homeless kids. And Christmas Eve is even tougher, because if a kid doesn't have a place to go on Christmas, they really don't have a place to go. You know, there's a lot of families that fall apart, and maybe they, September back to school pushes them over the edge. But a lot of times, you dig down deep, and at Christmas time, you make room. Your aunt can take you in, or a cousin, or a friend. But if a kid has no place to go on Christmas Eve, they really have problems. They really need our help. So sometimes we see some of this, the most troubled kids, the kids who are going to be the hardest to reconnect to life, coming to us on that day. So she goes on to talk about that in the letter. The last key principle, we have to connect the donor to the kid. So what we include in this package is a bounce back card for each donor to write a special message to one child. And we went with a very religious card this year. It's a picture of Madonna of the streets. It's actually not a picture of the Madonna There's a whole debate about this. Is this Mary and Jesus? It's actually the artist Roberto Ferruzzi drew a picture of a young girl who was taking care of her little brother. So in a way, it's a bit more like a homeless kid. They don't think she was a street kid in 1500, but you never know, maybe she was. And we have room inside the card for the donor to write a message. And like with all the cards that we like to buy, we want to have a message in there to get us started. So we say, you and I may never get the chance to meet, but regardless, we are bonded together through God's gift of the baby Jesus. And this Christmas, I want to wish you enough peace and joy and confidence to last you all year long. I send you my love, signed, Friend of Covenant House. And there's plenty of room to write more. And it's really neat to open up the gifts that come in and see the lengthy messages that people write, because they're seeing our organization, and this is the same for you guys, all of our organizations as agencies of the good work that they want to do, be it taking care of kids, animals, the environment, society, but by improving our education, our access to culture. We facilitate what the donor wants to do. And when we can help the donor understand that, I think that's what beefed up our response rate in this case. I want to compare this to the package from the previous year. In 2007, we raised $5 million. In 2006, we only did $4 million. And the packages are pretty similar. So let's just recap this package for a second. We've got that, this is a green outer envelope to get the holiday color going. It looks black up here. We've got some little holly decorations, a little decorative label, and the Christmas card for the donor to send back to the kid. The year before, we kind of did the same thing. A red envelope cuts through the clutter, the decorations, the wreaths instead of the holly. One difference, though, the image on the card that the donor's sending back to the kid. We did the same thing in 2006. We put a wreath. It's not going to offend anybody. And while we're not going out of our ways to offend people, we probably, with the wreath, didn't motivate as many people as we were able to do with the picture of the mother and the child. So we strayed a little bit from our core. The letter wasn't as spiritual. You know, in the winter, it was Jesus Scares Me. In this one, it opens up, on the Tuesday before Christmas, the miracle happened in Jane's life. So we talk about miracles. They're safer. They're not, you know, they're broad. They're not exclusive. But they're also not as inspiring as a message that might be more direct to a donor's heart. So, my message to you is to not be afraid of your niche. Use it, make the most of it, serve it. If you can add another one, that's great, but don't forget your base. Sometimes we all want to grow. Well, sometimes, all the time, we all want to grow, but sometimes we forget to take care of the base, and we drift away from what has made us strong. So use your niche, make the most of it, and continued success to you all with your